What's happening, ladies? Welcome to the video. Like I said, I'd rather talk more about how you can make more money than talk about the bitches. Not only is this going to fucking accelerate your life so you have a better experience, but also in turn it will help you attract the women. Not because money gets more women, but because your ability to provide is what attracts women. All right, when you're talking to the bitches, bro. Wait, by the way, just quick sauce on the chicks. If you fucking are at dinner with a girl and you're like, "Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. I could eat fucking anything," and then you order a bunch of shit, that's exciting to a fucking woman. If you're hanging out with a big group of people, okay, and there's a bunch of girls there, and you can say, "How about we just get a bunch of things and try it out?" And you tell the fucking waitress that comes over, "Hey, we're gonna try this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and this, and this." Right? It's you and three girls. You're telling them we're gonna try all these fucking things. Now these girls have this buffet in front of them. They're all trying a bunch of stuff. You look like a fucking provider. Okay? She goes, "Oh shit, this guy doesn't give a fuck about the money." All right? That's what makes it interesting. It's not about the money itself. It's about what you do with the money. All right? And also another thing on that, if a girl's eating a bunch of food around you, she's getting all these dopamine hits from all these fucking things. So she relates getting a bunch of dopamine to you. So that's just a quick little tidbit on the girls. But let's get into the fucking video. We're going to talk about why you should charge more for your clients. I'm going to be repurposing this as a YouTube video, so let me do my intro. Welcome to the video. My name's Steven. In this video, I'm going to show you why you should charge your clients more money, because you make more money and they stick around for longer, and you get a better service. You get more money up front. I mean, who doesn't want to make more money up front? So let's get into it. Why you should charge your clients more money. So I think I have 5 reasons for why you should charge more money, and then I have like 4 ways to do it. So if you like the video, subscribe, comment, follow, do what you got to do. Like the video. Let's get into it. So first things first, a perceived higher value. Okay, this is the thing you need to understand, is that the value of your service is perceived higher when you spend more money. I'm going to give you 2 stories with this. One, there was this study done where they had 3 different wine bottles set up, and one was they all didn't have any labels on them, and they were told one was the cheaper wine, the middle one was the kind of in the middle tier wine, and then the last one was the most expensive wine. Okay. Then they asked the participants to tell them their favorite wine, and every single one of the people that participated, or I guess most of them, I don't know the exact study results, but I know the results, but I don't know exactly how it went. Most people said that their favorite wine was the most expensive one. Well, guess what? Turns out they're all the same wine. Okay? So, with that being said, people, just because the price was higher, perceived the value as significantly higher. Right? I'm going to go ahead and give you another example. I forgot my example that I was going to use. Oh, yes. So one time I was trying to replace a carpet. So I had leased this house, and my dog, whenever someone would walk by my door, sometimes he would get weird. There was another dog in the house that he just didn't like, and so he would scratch the door. Okay, and I think it was on the first or second day I moved in, he ripped the carpet up from the door, right? And so fast forward 20 months, it's time to move out. I got this hole in the ground where my carpet is, and I got to get it fixed. Otherwise, I'm going to have to replace the entire carpet. So I talked to 3 companies. One of them was 2 of them were actual carpet companies, and they were going to charge me I don't know, $300-400 to come fix it. Okay. Now I talked to another guy. He was a handyman. He said he'd do it for $100. Now at the time, I didn't understand this concept, and I just need to get this done because I was whatever, I got to get out. And I didn't understand the price discrepancy between price and what actually works and how to get the best results, right? I didn't understand that people charge less because they just don't do as good of a job as the people that spend $300, or that I was going to spend $300 with. They were actual carpet companies. I hired this handyman. He comes over and gets another carpet that looks kind of the same color and sticks it underneath the carpet so that it raises a little bit, because he had taken out the what's that called, insulation underneath the carpet or whatever that is, that little mat under the carpet. He fucked that up too. So he puts another carpet underneath it and basically staples it to the ground. All right. I thought, fuck it, we can get away with this. We could not get away with this. Okay. I still ended up having to pay like, I don't know, $700 to replace that carpet. Moral of the story: if I had hired the person that cost more money, there was a higher likelihood that I was going to get better results. Okay. And so that's what you have to understand. Somebody gives you a price objection, I'm always like, compared to what? They're like, oh, that's expensive. Compared to what? Right? Like, what are you comparing it to? Because if it's expensive based off of the other prices that you've heard, that's one thing. But if it's expensive based off of a Lamborghini, it's two different things, because the Lamborghini is way more expensive than my service. Okay? So you have to understand that. Like, they might have heard cheaper prices, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that person's going to get them the results. And the biggest thing that I like to mention here in objection handling is, would you rather save a penny now and spend a dime later, or just spend a dime, right? Because that's what ends up happening. And like in that second story, what happened to me, I saved a penny to spend a dime later, all right? And so it's not worth it. It's really, really not worth it. And I'll tell you, especially in marketing, there is no dip your feet in. You either go all the way in or you don't. You can dip your foot in. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. And the reason why is because if you do that, then you're working with a small advertising budget and you're psychologically attuned to spend less money anyway, right? I will tell you, the hardest clients I've ever had in the entire world were the ones that were spending $50 a day on ads. I tried to get them to jump to $100 a day. The guys that started at $100 or $150, when I said let's jump to $300 a day, they were more likely to do it. Even like the $50 a day people were even like getting results and still not willing to make that jump to $100 a day because they didn't understand the fact that that's how advertising works. There are businesses, and they're not even like publicly traded, okay, that spend $20,000 to $30,000 a day on ads. Do you understand this? Like, there are businesses that spend that much money. And some people aren't willing to spend more than $50 because they have the value perceived lower in their mind. So when you charge higher prices, people perceive higher value, okay? Even if it's not higher value, right? They still perceive it that way. Of course, obviously, like, don't charge a bunch of people for shit that you're not good at. Like, if you're not good at something, then you're not good at it. Get better at it, charge lower prices, and then get more people in the pipeline. But I'll say this, you'd rather have a fucking customer than churn every couple months because you're charging people $3,000-$4,000 for a service you can't deliver, and then they fuck off, they leave a bad review, and now you don't have a customer. You'd rather have someone that's spending less money and keep them on as a customer so they can tell their friends about you if you're not that good at your service. But if you have a good service, charge more money. I'll tell you another thing too. There's a lot of agencies that are charging for the same service you probably do, charging $5,000 to $10,000 a month for the exact same service. Let's move on to the second one. So less objection handling. I've noticed this. I don't necessarily know if I know the psychological reason behind it, but for some fucking reason, whenever I charge someone $10,000, they're like, okay. If I'm charging someone $500, it is a bitch and a half to get that person to purchase. In fact, one time, it was about a year ago, I had hired 3 or 4 people and I told them they could make a deposit. You can pay a little bit now and then you can pay the rest later. I'm going to tell you, 2 of those people that made the deposit requested a refund within the first week. Okay. We hadn't even started the service yet. All right. For context, marketing agency, you have to like build out the sales funnel and do all this extra stuff. We hadn't even really started the service yet. And these people were like, all right, I'm done. Can't do this anymore. Don't want to participate. Like, that's all it took. Okay, was the fact that they didn't pay up front. In their mind, they're thinking, okay, I pay $400 now, and then next week I have to pay another $400. And the thing is, the buying cycle is shorter, and so they have to make a decision every single time they go to purchase. If you charge someone for 6 months up front, they only have to make a decision after 6 months. Okay, so if they look at the 6 months and say, yeah, the last 6 months were good, let's go ahead and re-up for another 6 months. Versus first month was good, second month was good, third month was bad. Now the person drops off after the third month, and you've lost a potential client that would stay around. But again, less objection handling. Like, I've genuinely just heard less people objection handle. Most people, or less objections. They're just like, all right, yeah, if that's the price, then let's do it. Okay? At fucking $1,000 a month, it's, oh, how much does it cost? Whatever. The next one, this positions you as the better option, right? Like I had mentioned before, you have the carpet cleaner or the carpet guy that was going to charge me $400, $500 to come do the thing and fix it, or the guy that's only going to do $100. All right, I'm telling you, all these guys in the agency space that are spending or charging $500 to $1,000 a month, they're not good at their job, and people get bad results. Another thing that this does is it changes the value in the client's mind, because the client thinks, oh shit, well, if everyone else is charging $1,000, then this should work at $1,000. Like, that should be the price range for this. When you come in and you're like, it's not $1,000, it's $3,000, and they're like, why is it so expensive? It's like, because we're actually doing it right. You see the difference? This is what it really looks like. We're not giving you some crappy funnel that, you know, oh, get 50 jobs in the next 2 days or it's free. That's bullshit, all right? And most of these fucking agencies do that shit. Stop being that guy, bro. Stop. Like, just stop with the fucking crummy offers, all right? Alex Hormozi cooked the market with all the offers. The little get 15 jobs or your money back guaranteed, or that, like, all that fucking bullshit ass like offer stuff, it's cooked. You can't do that shit anymore because everyone does it, and so it seems scammy, right? But these people are used to these shitty prices, and then you come around and you're like, it's more expensive. Like, whoa, I didn't expect it to be that much. And it's like, well, I mean, do you want it good? Do you want to have it fast, good, or cheap? Like, you can only pick two, all right? And that's what happens for a lot of these people, is they hire these crappy people and they spend a lot less money, all right? And I've even told people before, I've had this happen. Somebody will come to me and say, oh, it's a little expensive. And I'll say, well, what other quotes have you gotten? And they say, well, I got one for $500. And I'll say, okay, then go use that guy. But I'll tell you, it's not going to perform as you'd like. And they're like, oh, well, it will perform. It will perform. I have a lot of trust. They have good testimonials and whatever. Well, guess what? These guys come back 6 months later and say, hey, it didn't work. Can I sign up? And then I say, hey, actually, it's not $2,000 anymore. It's $3,000. And then they go, okay. Positions you as the better option. Number 4, you care more about the results and you actually put more effort. All right. If you were to give me $500 and ask me to, let's say, edit a bunch of content for you. That's a bad example. Let's say you give me $500 and ask me to manage an ad campaign for you for an entire month. Okay. Psychologically, in my brain, that does not, like, it is not the same degree as you paying me $3,000 for the same thing. Okay. Psychologically, that, and again, it might be different for you. Maybe, you know, you're not used to cash like that, but when you have a point where, like, you're making good money, you're going to be, say you're making like 10, 20 grand a month. Someone only wants to do work for $500. It's like, I don't even have time for your shit, bro. Like, I genuinely don't. I don't have time for it. I don't care enough to do it. All right. You care more when people pay you more. All right. It's just how it is. All right. Because it's like, oh shit, this person paid me some real money. I don't want to fuck this up. Okay. This kind of goes in and drags in with number 5, but the worst thing you can do is hire a lazy client, right? Unfortunately, in our business model, in online service business, you get married to the client. Like, you just hop in and you're like in it with the client. There's no backing out. Like, you have to get in bed with them right there. No matter what, like, you don't get to take them on dates and shit like that. All right. They're just in the bed with you. And so sometimes you don't know, you really don't know, like, how this person's going to be. And I mean, I'll give you a perfect example for me. I recently had a client who signed up with me. I have a 3-month minimum. He begged me to do 1 month. So I said, all right, screw it. And I signed him up. Okay. We start working together. This guy, I asked him to build out, like, to make ad creatives, right? Like, shoot videos of him talking about his service. Well, he sent me, like, the corniest videos ever. Like, they were so bad. It was awful. First of all, it took him 2 weeks to do it. And then he sent me, like, the worst videos of all time. Like, you could tell he was reading from a script. He was, like, stuttering. He was mumbling. He didn't seem comfortable in the environment, and he botched the fuck out of the script. I literally gave him a script, okay? I give people scripts. I give you the way to do it, and I say, here, this is how you build the business, okay? And if that's something you're interested in, like, you want ad scripts, click the first link in the description, and I will help you get all the information that you need to build the best ad campaign for your business, all right? Sorry, my boys in Loa, I got to plug my shit. Hopefully this helps you make your YouTube videos in the future. But regardless, he made crappy ads. I asked him to fix them. It took him literally, it's funny, it took him the entirety of the 30 days we were working together to fucking fix them. And then he sent them back and they were still garbage. I actually had spent way more money. Like, I dipped into my profit just trying to get like editors to fix this. Like, I was like, hopefully an editor can fucking fix these videos and make them look better. Okay. And I put all this effort in. All right. And this guy, he had the ad campaign off for half of the thing because he was on vacation. And then he came back and he was like, I don't think it's going to work. And I was like, yo, you've only spent $1,000 on your ad campaign and you were out of town for half of it. And you sent me crappy videos. Of course it's not going to work. And I told him ways we can fix it. He's like, I just don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work. All right. It's hard for me to care. All right. It's really, really hard for me to care. I tried. I cared to an extent. But to the extent of the person that, and I'll rephrase this another way. I've had clients before pay me PIFs. All right. They paid in full for multiple months. Okay. They paid me 6, 10, whatever amount of money, grand up front. And when that happened, bro, I cared a lot more about the results. In fact, I had more cash flow to go and get the client results, right? Another thing you have to understand is you have to stop worrying so much about fucking profit margin. All right, please. All right, we're in the online space. The profit margin, if you want it to be, can be really, really high. Stop worrying about it so much. You should be spending part of that profit on your client, all right? There needs to be, if you need to, you should be spending money on your client. There's no fucking reason why you should be reaching out to your client unless they really didn't pay you a lot on some, hey, I need you to throw me a couple $100 because I got to pay for this thing. All right. If you have a client sign up for something for, I don't know, let's say $1,500 and you need to spend $600 on that client to make sure they get the best results, spend the $600 on the client. Because you'd rather walk home with $900 that month and still get paid $1,500 a month than walk home with $1,500 the first month and then not get paid at all. But yeah, I mean, I've just noticed when someone pays me more money, I genuinely just care more. This is just how the world works, right? This is just how people are. All right, I can sit here and tell you all day, I want to make sure everyone gets the best results. I do. All right. However, I care way more about the guy that's paying me a lot more money than the guy that's not paying me at all. Okay. So understand that you're going to care a lot more about the results. And the last thing is the client cares more about the results. Like I said, the guy that I was just telling you about, he didn't spend a lot of money. All right. It shows. It shows. He didn't spend as much money. I'd say on average, I don't know. I'm not going to give away my prices online. I'm not going to give away my prices. But I would say this guy probably spent a third of what my normal clients spend. And he didn't care. You notice he was on vacation. He wasn't. I had another guy that did the exact same thing. He spent about a third of what my clients usually spend, and maybe a little bit less than that. This was a couple years ago. This guy, in my onboarding call, went on vacation. He was in the airport when our onboarding call happened. It also took me, again, I charged this guy a lower price. It took me an entire month to get this guy to sign up. An entire month, and we had to mess with the contract a bunch of times for him to finally sign up. All right? He didn't care about the results as much as I did. Okay? And when both people don't care, think about it. It's like a relationship where both people aren't putting in the work that they have to put in, right? Like the man is not being the man and the woman is not being the woman. All right? And so what happens? When that happens, you guys both stop caring. All right? I like to blame the man in these circumstances. It's always the man's fault, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. All right? When everyone stops caring, it's no longer a relationship. You guys break up afterwards, okay? So if you're going to have this thing, everyone has to care and put in their equal part, all right? The man has to protect and provide. The woman has to nurture, all right? If both of those people aren't doing that shit, then the relationship doesn't work. If you bring it to a business partnership, it's the same fucking thing, all right? If both people can't put in the work they have to put in, then nobody cares. And guess what? When there's more on the line about getting actual results, you're more willing to put in the work required. And so is the client. Because here's the thing. If the client pays you $1,000, he's going to give you $1,000 worth of effort. If he pays you $10,000, he's going to give you $10,000 worth of effort. So make sure you understand this concept. All right. Also, I didn't put this in here, but charging higher prices filters out bad clients, because bad clients always want a deal and they always want a discount. When you charge higher prices, those people just won't even buy. They won't even click on your shit. One big thing that I do is, I'll tell someone, if I'm having a conversation with them and they're like, hey, I want to do this, and I say, all right, it's going to cost you 10 grand. And they're like, well, that's a lot of money. Can I do it for $5 grand? I'll be like, you can do it for 12 grand, right? You can do it for more money if you want to spend that. Absolutely, under no circumstance will I give you a discount. Do not give people discounts. Okay. It's lazy. It ruins the frame of the relationship. As a coach, as a consultant, as an agency, you are supposed to be the one giving them the advice and helping them get the results. If you're giving them a discount, you're already ruining the frame. Now this person feels like they're above you and they can fucking say whatever they want to say to you. All right. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. Now let's talk about how to charge more. I know this video is getting a little long, but we'll finish it up soon. If you like the video, subscribe. So first things first, you can charge more up front and you can have longer service times. So let's say your service is $2,000 a month. You can charge people for 4 months, and so now you've made $8 grand, right? This gives you more cash to fuck with too. So like you have $8 grand. All right, now you have like whatever your like year in Bali or whatever it is you guys like to do, or maybe you have your ad spend or whatever it is. Like you have cash flow. You have a emergency fund, something behind you to back you in case something hits the fan, right? So that's the best part about it. But also, it's a great price anchor, right? So you can charge more up front. You can say, okay, it's $4 grand. I usually do this. I give them like a month off or 50% off of 1 month. So if you purchase the 4 months in full, it's not $8 grand, it's $6 grand or something like that, or it's $7 grand, right? So you give them a longer service time. So they have to stay on for 4 months, which gives you a longer time to optimize and make sure you get good results. And once again, they have a buying decision to make every quarter now and not every single month. So if in the first quarter you get them, you make this person, I don't know, $500,000, they're like, that was worth it. Let's do it again. Okay. Now that means, maybe month 1 and 2, you didn't make them any money, but month 3 and 4, you did. However, they've already paid for it and they're a part of it. Okay. So understand, price anchor. Always fucking try to price anchor people. It's $8 grand. And that's how you start that, by the way, because you always want to try to get as much as you can up front. So that way the client stays on for longer. So you're like, it's $8 grand. And say they're like, oh, well, can I break it down into monthly payments? That's when you can get into number 4, right? You can give like financing. So you can actually like finance the service. And there's plenty of processors where you send them the thing. They put in their, they runs like a soft credit pull, and then it will give the client like, they can pay over a certain amount of time. But if your service makes them money too, like they should be able to pay it off quickly. So they can finance it for a little bit and then fucking pay it off. But the financing company will give you the money up front, and then the client is responsible for paying the financing company the amount of money that is due. So this is a great way. You can actually get people started with $0 down. All right, a good service for this is fan bases. Anything that has like Klarna or there's like Apple Pay options, or like Apple. It's like Apple financing or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of different options for it. Any of those services that people can put in their information and then they can like finance a thing, it's going to be golden for your business, bro. You will close so many packages on this as long as people have good credit scores. So yeah, like I was saying, longer service up front, great price anchor. If somebody wants to change the time frame, like, or they want to pay like by month, now you've already gotten them to sign up for a longer period of time, but they still have to pay you monthly. So like you've already price anchored them at, you're going to be paying me for 4 months, or you've already made it clear like the service is going to last for 4 months, right? Say you said it's $6 grand for 4 months. Now they're like, I want to pay it every month. Okay, cool. It's $2 grand a month. Now you're making an extra $2,000, and then they realize, okay, actually I would have gotten a discount if I would have done it all up front, so they might actually pay right there. It's always important. I had a coach tell me this a couple months ago. It's always important to try and get people to have longer service times, but also if you can like service time anchor people as well. So you don't just price anchor, you also service time anchor. So, hey, most of our clients like to sign up at 6 months. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be stuck in this retainer for a long period of time. Let's just do 3 months. Okay, that's fine. Or 4 months. I used to do 90 days was my cutoff. That was when I usually had, like how long I usually had people in my pipeline for. Not in my pipeline, sorry. That was how long my service agreement lasted at a bare minimum. Then I upped it to 6 months just to see what would happen. And everyone would whittle their way down to 4 months. So I got an extra month that I'm working with the client out of every single one of those people that I tried to get to do 6 months. 6 months, 6 month price piff. Some people will buy. If they don't buy, you anchor it down to 4 months, but you're not doing this. You pay every single month, month by month, and you can quit whenever you want to. Because I'm telling you, bro, people fuck off so quick. If they don't understand the value, all right, genuinely, if they don't understand the value and see what's going on, they'll fuck off very, very fast. Even if you are doing a good job. Like I've had some people before who've come in, I've been doing a good job for them, and even after the first month, just the fact that they have to make that buying decision again, even if it's a recurring payment, like it comes out of their bank account without them like having to click anything, they still are like, oh, did I get enough value from this? I mean, people are crazy. I've had some clients who have had like a 6 to 7x return and still be like, well, I want it to be 20, so this wasn't worth it. Like, people are nuts, okay? People are fucking nuts, and they have different opinions on money than you do, okay? The next one, we have value-based pricing. So you can charge more upfront by basing it off the amount of value you're going to bring. If I knew 100% that I was going to help the company make an extra $1 million in the next year, would it be unreasonable for me to ask for $100,000? Really think about that. I mean, I think I had mentioned this earlier in the video, but like, people will spend $10,000 fixing equipment on their business. You're telling me that they won't be willing to spend $10,000 a month on something that's going to bring them $100,000 a month in extra profit or revenue? They're going to pay for that shit. So look at it. Look at it to that degree. It's like, okay, if you know for a fact you can make this person an extra $300,000 in the next year, it would not be unreasonable for you to ask for $30,000. It really wouldn't for the entire year. So yeah, it's $15,000 for 6 months. You could even do it like this. It's $12,000 for 6 months. And then if they're like, oh, I want to do month by month, you can say, well, I have to do the math really quick. You can say it's $2,500. It's $2,500 a month then, right? You make $15,000, or you just cut it like a couple $1,000s if they pay in full. You can add more deliverables. So this is a great way to fix this. Having a lot of deliverables can be confusing to a client, so you have to be careful about that. If you have like 50 things you're delivering to them and they don't know what they're getting, then you have to be careful. So your wording matters. The way you do it matters. I would say you don't even have to add that many deliverables. You can honestly look through, I call them like wood shavings, or is that like the sawdust? Sawdust, that's what it is. When you go and you cut a tree, there's like sawdust that comes out, and then sawdust is everywhere. And companies will take this sawdust and resell it to other companies, and they'll do, I don't know what they do with it. All right, they make shit out of it, or I don't know. But the point is, you have sawdust, okay? You have Google Docs, like you have SOPs, you have videos, you have things you can give away for free. Like, I always like to look like what's something, like a free thing that I can add onto the service to make the client feel like they're getting better results. Not because it's manipulative, but because I want to make sure the client is getting the best results possible. Okay, and so let's say I say, let's start the campaign, or let's start working together. Bam. Well, I know it's going to take me 3 days to launch this campaign. Okay, so on the first day, I send them a YouTube video on exactly what to expect with the thing. On the second day, I send them an SOP on how to have a conversation with the leads. On the third day, I send them an SOP on how to use the CRM. Okay, now they've gotten 3 deliverables from me, and we haven't even started the actual service. That's just one way you can casually add more value. But the bigger thing that you can do is actually add on like a bigger piece of value. Like, for example, you just sell Facebook ads and Instagram ads. That's $1,000. But then they want to do Google ads too. That's another $1,000. And then they also want to do, they want a CRM. That's another $1,000. So you have 3 different services that you're offering for $3,000 in total. And so now it's like, oh, okay, this is a lot. I can see why this is better. I can see why I should pay for this. So that's pretty much the video. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. And if you're looking to get more jobs for your business, click the first link in the description, set up a time with me to chat, and I will more than happily help you find out what you can do to get better results. For the boys in Loa, thank you for fucking watching. Like I said, I'm going to make more videos like this because truthfully, I need to post more content on my YouTube channel because I haven't been posting. And also, I'm sick of talking about bitches, bro. Like, you guys need to fucking make some money. Like, you're too worried about getting laid. I'm too worried about getting laid. I'm in the same fucking boat, too. Like, there have been so many times where I have, I don't know, like, fucked around and sat at the pool all day trying to, like, talk to my neighbors and shit and try to see if I can get one of these girls to come home with me instead of doing the important shit, like working on my fucking business. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I guess I have nothing else to really fucking say to the YouTube audience. I didn't really like give a proper bye, but I feel like if I cut that in, it would be kind of crazy. So, that's about it. I have nothing else to say. Drake just dropped a new album. Go listen to it. Albums. Go listen to it if you haven't. Mwah.